Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our graphing video series. Here, we're going to talk about slope, point slope technically. In our data set, we're often given individual points of data. For example, we draw a graph and we collect or are given two data points, x1, y1, and x2, y2. The slope of a graph is just the differences in the different values. You might remember the idea if you have a slope that you have the rise and the run. You have the run and you have the rise. The slope is simply the change in the y, which is rise, over the change in x, which is the run. This gives us the slope. Slope comes in two flavors, a positive slope and a negative slope. A positive slope shows y and x both going up. X goes up, y goes up, or they go down. In an indirect relationship, x might go up while y goes down, or x might go down as y goes up. That gives us a negative slope. To calculate the slope, we first need to identify the different points on the graph. Let's look at an example. In this particular data set, we have 2 points that appear on a graph. These points would optimally be calculated by plotting a point on the graph itself, but they could also be given. We're first going to start by writing the equation. Again, every time you do one of these problems, you need to write the equation so we can see what you're actually doing. We're then going to plug in the values. I'm going to start by putting my y2 in, 4.6, and my y1, 8.3. On the bottom, my x2 and my x1. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to solve these sections, but I'm not going to give you the final answer. I'm just going to put the numbers on top and bottom. Whenever you have a complex example with adding, subtracting, and multiplying or dividing, you want to simplify first. If we take negative 3.7 and we divide 3.1, the answers to the top, you'll get a big hint that this is going to have a negative slope. If we take the two values, we're going to end up getting our final answer. Here, our slope is negative 1.19. Depending on the units, this thing will have units. For example, grams per milliliter if this was density. You'll notice that it has a negative slope. That means it's an indirect relationship. Slope will almost always be in the 0.5 to 3 range. If you get values that are super small, like less than 0.1 or greater than about 20, you probably did something wrong. Although there are data sets where this works, there's going to be large variances between the sets. Again, slope gives us information about how graphs change over time, allowing us to compare different relationships with different values. Thank you for watching our graphing series on slope. Have a great rest of your day.